Bonsoir, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Selección Nacional, the national selection, with your co-hosts, Derek Etienne and Daryl Etienne. And again, we're looking forward to coming to your airways and talking to you about everything concerning the Haitian national team. We are in an exciting time. The U17 women's national team is doing an excellent job and has advanced to the semifinals. And we're doing a great job, and we're so proud of them. But there is still much work to be done, and we're going to discuss that right after this. And welcome back to Selección Nacional. We're here discussing the progression of the U17 women's national team, who have now just defeated El Salvador 5-3 in the second match of group play and has secured a spot into the semifinals. What do you think about the performances so far? 2 wins in 2 games.
I think that it's great results for Haiti. I feel that Haiti has a great chance to possibly take over this group. If you look at the scoreline between Mexico and Costa Rica, Haiti, El Salvador, if you go by statistics and on paper, we have a really good chance. Obviously, there's some things we're going to discuss tonight that we may have to do and may not have to do in order for us to have success. But we're going to talk about that as we go on. But what is your take on it? What do you feel that Haiti has done and accomplished so far as we're going forward?
I think what we're talking about is what everybody is talking about. The entire soccer community who's watching these games are talking about Logenia Etienne. Logenia Etienne. Logenia Etienne. That's who we're talking about. I'm telling you, she is really, really showing herself strong, showing the talent that Haitian players have, and showing how she can compete at the highest level. But is it enough for her to do it by herself? It's a team of 11 players, and right now Logenia is really standing out, but we're going to need some help from other players.
Logenia, she's one of those type of players that can make something out of nothing. You know, you can see signs of greatness when you can see players that make other players better around them, or they're able to, their ability is to hide the weaknesses of the team because they're so dominant and so effective. And so that's what she's doing. She's definitely, basically by herself, basically won the game for against El Salvador. It was excellent to watch.
Excellent job. And let's look first at the lineup that Coach Auger went with, the exact same lineup that they went against Costa Rica, with Kimberly Prince in goal, Julissa Pierre in defense, Esther Valius, Delanchi Pierre in the midfield, with Francois playing on defense as well. Nicolas was playing in the midfield. Logenia Etienne up top, of course. Nazon in the midfield, wearing the captain's band. Murat was playing outside in the in the outside back, with Fleuro playing on the right wing again, and Dominique Desert playing on the left wing.
What do you think was Coach Auger's game plan coming into this match? I mean, I have a feeling what you're going to say, but just what do you think was the game plan based on?
I would think he was going with the same plan that he went with Costa Rica, which was to try to put them under pressure and see, can we get after them? And if you see the first 10 minutes, it's exactly what happened. That Haiti was dominant in the first 10 minutes. A great pass from Etienne into Dominique Desart, who finishes it well. Who Dominique is actually having a great tournament, by the way. She's doing a great job with these first 2 games.
Yeah, this is her first stint with the national team. Again, she was with the team for the named with the team for the 15s, and then unfortunately we're not able to play. But then now she has her first stint, and she's got a goal and assist in 2 games, making her name. And we know her personally because obviously we coach her, but she has not even shown how good she is yet. Right. The tables are going to turn very soon.
If we can continue to utilize her and using her speed on the, giving her the ball on the wings to take players 1v1. If we can find her in behind, just like Logenia Etienne did, she's going to cause some trouble, cause some damage.
She does excellent with making runs, getting them behind. That's one of
her
strengths.
Have to see it though.
Yeah, you know, so a lot of times it's very difficult with her receiving the pass. We've kind of were struggling with, you know, that final pass in the final third.
We'll talk about that.
You know, but she's done very good at making runs to get in behind. If we could just find her, we're going to see a little bit more. But what you said, very key. 1v1 ability, she's very good 1v1. We just haven't really isolated her yet. But hopefully in this game against Mexico, she's going to have to step up big because they're going to be all over Virginia.
Well, I don't think it's just Dominique that's going to have to step up. I think the entire team has got to step up. The entire front attacking players have to step up, because if I'm Mexico and I've been watching these games, I'm going to do whatever I can to try to stop Lajinha. And even though we know it's going to be difficult because she's that kind of a player, they tried to stop her. El Salvador tried to stop her. You saw on the second goal, the corner kick comes in. They tried to stop her, but she just would not give up. You can see the fight of Dessalines in her, the fight of the Haitian blood running through her veins, where she didn't give up and she scored that goal. That second goal, to me, shows that's the mentality that every Haitian player is going to have to play with if we're going to beat Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If we're going to beat Mexico, every player has to have the similar passion, similar, the mentality of saying, we can go after this. We have a chance to win this. We're not going to just let other teams roll over us, but we're going to go take it. And so that's what it seems like Haiti's doing at the moment. So I look at if you look at the particular game, what do you think was our strong points? Obviously, Etienne is a major point. Dominique has been there, but who else do you feel is effective and can help us to win this game?
I think who can help us, who's going to have to step up, is our number 6. Delanche Pierre is going to have a solid game against Mexico. I felt that she was a little quiet she showed moments against Costa Rica and against El Salvador. I don't think it was her best game. But I think if Delanche Pierre can really hold things down in the midfield, being strong enough to break up plays, win the ball, and in finding our forward players, our creative players, I think that's what's going to be key. So I'm still looking for Delanche Pierre to step up and really, really add more to the game. So for me, that's a bright spot. And of course, we said Dominique Desar, I think is a valuable player. And we had some more. I thought we'd had a better game from Nazon. Nazon played a little bit better this game, but we're going to need her again to take the game to another level against Mexico.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the midfield. When we watched El Salvador's game, and then we turned and we ended up watching Mexico play against Costa Rica, one of the things I noticed with Costa Rica is their long-range shooting.
Mexico.
I'm sorry. Yeah, with Mexico against Costa Rica was their long-range shooting. A lot of shooting from the long range, which means that our midfield has to step up to deny that or confront
we got to close it down.
We have to close down, and because they're very good with the long range shooting. And then obviously, if our goalie makes the saves, then there's the rebounds. So our center backs have to be on their toes, outside backs have to be on their toes, and our defensive center mids, that's Nicolas. Yeah, they have to step up.
Everybody has to be in a level of concentration to the next level when we're playing against Mexico. Mexico is one of the best teams in the region, okay? But we are right there with them. But in order for us to really compete with them, everybody has to be concentrated. We can't have the same mistakes that we had against El Salvador. What are some of the things that you saw with the El Salvador game that we need to correct when going to this game tomorrow against
I would say maintaining momentum.
Okay.
What I mean by that is the first 4 minutes of the game, that's when we've seen Etienne receives the ball, and she was able to see it and recognize the run and splits 2 defenders, the center backs. Desar comes in, scores the goal. 4th minute. Right after that, 5 minutes later, we get another goal from a long ball from our back line, or a long ball's played forward, and now defensive mistake, but the brilliance to recognize the mistake and punish the mistake. So here we are at 9th minute, we're up 2-0 and we're all over them. And then all of a sudden we had a goalkeeper error that caused the goal to be scored, and it shifted the whole momentum, and we were on our heels for the rest of that half. So we have to maintain momentum and not let the team catch their momentum and start to play and start to pick us apart. It cannot happen.
Let's talk about, you said a goalkeeper error is what caused the goal in the 12th minute, a set piece, a free kick for El Salvador, and it's a goalkeeping error. Kimberly Prince normally would save that. All right, it's one to our hands. She normally would save it. If she can't catch it, then maybe punch it out or something. But she stops into the net. Goalkeeping error, it happens sometimes, and I know goalkeepers, they get a lot of pressure because forwards can miss chances, midfielders can miss tackles. But if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it costs us a goal. But again, against a team like Mexico, those mistakes can't happen.
Yeah. And then for me, not just the mistake from the goalkeeper, but we cannot continue to give fouls around the top of the box.
Yeah.
We cannot continue to be reckless in our defending and giving these set pieces and giving these opportunities, because not only, was that a little shaky for me with our goalkeeper, it was a little bit shaky for Kimberly. I'm expecting her to be better than that. I know she's better, but we cannot have that kind of mistake. But at the same time, if we're giving free kicks to specialists, Mexico, they specialize in free kicks.
Right.
They specialize around that box. They have some sharp shooters. So we have to have the presence of mind to not give away those type of fouls around there to put us in that and to put Kimberly in that type of situation.
Yeah,
Just can't do it.
We can't do it. So that means that we have to be disciplined around the box, around the 18-yard box. We have to be disciplined, stay on our feet, and make sure we pressure and close them down, deny a shot, deny the cross. I think one of our weaknesses, and we're going to go back to Kimberly Prince because she got injured in the game, and so we'll go back to that. But I feel that one of our weaknesses is dealing with set pieces, dealing with those long balls into the box. Seems to be a problem for us. Every time there's a free kick where they're serving balls into our box, it's a dangerous moment against us. And that's got to be something that we address, that either we have to be strong enough to battle and handle these balls in the air, or we cannot allow free kicks. We can't keep doing it because it's our weakness, and they've punished us every single time.
So with this particular game with El Salvador, how the game started to get close, but for me, I think that the major part for Haiti is the resilience that our strikers are showing. And so I think that's been giving us life. And so we want to maintain that. But as we said, that match has to be lit, and everybody has to catch on fire and be able to withstand what we're going to face with Mexico. I think Mexico can be beaten.
Yeah.
All right. Mexico can be beaten, but we cannot beat ourselves with these type of giving up fouls, free kicks, and silly mistakes. Those will cost us big time because a team like Mexico will punish us.
Absolutely. If we go back to the Kimberly Prince, the goalkeeper, she had a collision early in the second half where she went down and received treatment from the physio. Then she went back into the game and then could not complete the match. So we had to put a substitute goalkeeper in. Kimberly Cadet goes in, and then another goalkeeping error. Okay, so we know that Coach Auger has decisions to make. Is Kimberly Prince going to be fit to play against Mexico, or do we have to go with Cadet? Now, Cadet, it was difficult for her to come into a game where we're under pressure. So she's the second string goalie, the second goalkeeper, who now comes into a game where we're under heavy pressure, and it's a lot of nerves, a lot of energy that's happening. So I know it was difficult for her. It's a first match, U17 championship, and this is an important game for us. The ball's coming in across, and she mistimes it. She misjudges it. So again, maybe she handles that in any other game. Any other time, she might make that save. But again, these mistakes can happen. El Salvador punished us twice.
Right.
Mexico is going to do it even more.
I think that if we're going to see if Cadet will be taking given the nod for the start, or if Kimberly was going to be okay to play. But whoever's in goal, they have to be confident, because at the end of the day, we know that Mexico was going to do those long range shooting. They're going to try to combine around the top of the box, but they're looking to penetrate and go after our goalkeeping. For me, I'm also looking at our midfield has to be mobile. Our midfield has to be willing to do the dirty work in this game now. So we cannot hide and rely on just our forward line to bail us out now. We have to really defend. We're going to have to keep possession of the ball. For me, I really saw that was an issue for us in this El Salvador game.
It's the second
possession.
game. The second game that we thought maybe the first game against Costa Rica. It's the first match. It's early. The team just now starting to play together. New players from the States, new players from here, from there. So we thought maybe that was the reason. But this is the second game, and we're seeing the same thing where we're winning the ball, we're getting the ball in good positions, but we're giving it away too cheap. We're giving it away too easy, and there's not enough fight to get the ball back. And so Mexico is a team that's going to put pressure on us. Okay. And then when they have the ball, they're going to move the ball, look for combinations. Our midfielder has to be moving, has to be working, has to hunt the ball. And when we win the ball, can we find Desert? Can we find Fleury? Can we find Etienne? And can we find them quickly? And if we do, I think we're going to be able to catch Mexico. But we can't keep giving the ball back. We work so hard to win the ball, and then we give it right back to the other team. We work so hard to win the ball, and then we give it back to the other team. We work to win the ball, and we give it back to the other team. And it can't happen. And then so Etienne says, I got to do it by myself. So she goes, scores a goal. And then we give the ball back to the other team. They score again. She goes, scores another goal. So we have to keep the ball. We have to keep the ball. We can't, you already said it. We can't rely that Etienne is a special player. Etienne is doing great. Etienne is a strong force for us. But she can't win the game against Mexico by herself. She's going to need some good service. Going to need balls played into her. She's going to need help. And if they're going to try to close her down, somebody's going to be open. So if I'm Mexico, I'm going to put 2 players on her to make sure she doesn't play, to make sure she doesn't turn. I'm going to have one player close her down and make sure she doesn't turn, another player to make sure that they're back and she doesn't beat them. I'm not going to play an offside trap. I'm going to make sure that Logenia Etienne does not play. So if I'm the coach and that's my game plan, that means that somebody is going to be open. Somebody is going to be there to help. And who's going to be that player to step up for Haiti to help?
I really feel, and again, I'm not just being biased because we know her, but I think Dominique has to step up this game and make her presence felt. She's going to have to show her 1v1 ability to create on her own, just as Etienne has done. So now if you have 2 players that are able to create something out of nothing, and then now if we get those that are playing in the 7, whoever we go with, I was looking forward to seeing if, who was going to go forward and take the reins of the right wing. And right now
it's Fleury. Right now Annabelle Fleury, but again, we need more.
It's not enough for me.
We need for Fleury. We need you to take players 1v1. We need you to cross balls. We need you to make runs in. We need to take some shots. So we need more from Fleury if she's going to be that starting right wing.
And we need more from Nazon. Nazon, you're wearing the captain band now. You've been doing great. We saw a lot more from you this second game against El Salvador, but we're going to need her to step up big in this game. She's got to create chances for herself, as well as sliding Desert in and sliding Etienne in. She's going to have to be that true playmaker that's going to help us, because you're 100% right. I'm concerned about fatigue setting in. All right, we're going to game 3 now. Etienne has played the whole game, 90 minutes, both games. All right, certain players have been playing the majority of the game. So now we're going to test, our bench is going to be tested. Our bench is going to be tested and possibly called upon as cramps start to settle in, as little nicks and bruises start to show itself. These players that are on our bench are going to have to come in and step up and maintain against a very good Mexico.
I'm hoping that Coach Auger and Coach Cherry and all of the staff have done an excellent job of recovery. And it seems like it did work for the second game. And now we're really going to need it. I'm hoping that today they had a whole lot of rest, ice baths, everything necessary to get that recovery, because you're right. This is game number 3. 3 games in what? How many days? 3 games in 4 or 5 days? So we're going to make sure that we have to make sure that these players are fit and ready to play, and that someone's going to be able to come in and keep the same level.
And now it's good that both of these teams, Mexico and Haiti, have both qualified for the semifinal round. Okay, but this is still a final within a final. All right, yes, we call it the semifinal. We're advancing to the semifinal, but for here, this is the battle for that particular win in the group. Because whoever wins the group, all right, now you kind of have that momentum as you play it against the other side with Canada and USA.
And winning the group is very important, because if you win this group, then you're going to play against second place in the other group in the final, which looks like it's going to be Canada, because US is still on top. They're still strong, and based on goal differential, US seems to be in the top spot. And so if we can avoid US and play them in the final, that would be great. But so we could win this group. But even more than just winning this group, right now Haiti has been number 4. For the last few competitions. Haiti has finished and after the playing the third place game, the last few competitions. This is an opportunity for us to show that we can hang with the big dogs and be one of the big three. This is an opportunity that Haiti can show, just like on the women's senior team, how in the World Cup qualifiers, they played against Mexico and we beat Mexico. We beat Mexico with a great game in Shirley had a great free kick to solidify the game. And we beat Mexico on the senior level, and it showed the world that we can play at this level. I think this is an important match for us. Not only is it an important match to put us at top of the group, and an important match to now have us in a driver's seat so that we can go and get a good chance to qualify for the World Cup. But at the same time, it's a chance to show that Haiti is a force in the CONCACAF region that you can no longer deny us and can no longer look over us.
Yeah, I think that's good. It's happening where you're able to see just the level of players that are starting to come out of Haiti. I mean, we've always had good players, but now the spotlight with all social media, we're able to see the working that's going on behind the scenes of raising up top players that can compete at the highest level.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. One other thing we have to talk about is again, when you talk about tired legs and you talk about when we're tired and when we start cramping, we start to make silly mistakes. When we're tired and we're under pressure, we make silly mistakes. If we notice, we gave up a penalty kick almost near the end of the game. We gave up a penalty because the player got played in behind and we tripped from behind and we gave up a penalty, received a red card. And so now we had to play with a player down for the last few minutes of the game and the stoppage time. It's going to be important that everybody stays concentrated and we can't give the silly fouls and silly areas. We need 11 players. We can't play Mexico with 10 players. We need every player there. We need every player to play. And again, we have to be disciplined because not only are we playing, you know how it is when Haiti is playing against the big dog teams that they expect to win. You know, it's always been expected. We're playing in Mexico. They're expecting a USA-Mexico final. That's what CONCACAF is expecting. But we can change this. And because of that, we have to make sure that we're not giving silly fouls. We're not doing silly things because they would love to give a red card. They would love to give a penalty kick. They would love to make sure that something changes the game and that it's in favor of Mexico. So we have to make it dominant and we have to come and play and we have to draw our own luck by doing what we have to do to win this game. And it's going to take every player that's starting and players coming off the bench if we're going to take it to Mexico.
Again, I would like to say that I'm proud of Coach Auger. You know, he's managed this team well so far, you know, with the players that he has. You know, I'm sure there's other players that were unable to make this roster due to, passports, traveling, injuries. So we know that this is a very good start for the Haitian side. And as we're going forward and looking forward to seeing what else they're going to do, I believe that history is about to be made. I'm very optimistic. Will we qualify? The goal is to qualify for the World Cup.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're in the semifinal round. So both games, whether we play USA, whether we play against Canada, it's going to be a tough battle, you know, but this particular match before the semifinal, to me, is a history-making match.
Absolutely.
I believe that players are going to step up. Players we said it, they have to, you know, but I believe that there's going to be some key players that we're going to see and show that Haitian football is alive and doing well.
Absolutely. And lastly, we will say with again, the goals that Logina Etienne scored, everyone is talking about the goals. Her last goal should be nominated as one of the top goals of the tournament. And I mean, she's doing an excellent job, and it's great to see that our players are playing at this level. They're comparing her to the likes of Dumonet and Aurelia Mondesir. So this is the future of Haiti that's coming. And so we just pray that she stays healthy, that she stays fit, and continues to go. But like I said, it's more than just Logina Etienne. We need to see the other players show our quality, show what we can do, and we shine on this big stage on the next game.
Speaking of Etienne, I'm getting so many calls from people just saying, "Oh, your niece, your family," you know, because you know Etienne. Everybody's talking about how great this player is and wants a piece. Everybody's saying, "Hey, this college is calling, that college is calling, agents are calling." Everybody knows
this pro team is interested. That team is interested,
and we're trying to tell them, you know, she's one of many. She's one of many. And so Haitian football is doing great at the moment. And we just want to stay behind them and keep pushing them that they go forward. But now is not the time to get arrogant. Now is not the time to get, you know, distracted. We have to stay focused, and players have to continue to work to get to the goals that we're trying to get. Not only are we trying to get to the finals, but at the same time, we want to see if we can beat Mexico. It's a must. That's where we are right now. It's not do or die, but it's definitely a great opportunity for us to show that we are there and that we can handle this.
So what do you think Oje's mentality is going to be going into this game? Is he going in this game to win the group? Or is he going in this game to rest players because we want to just prepare for the semifinals? What do you think is Oje's approach? And what would you do if you were coaching?
I haven't met Coach Oje personally, but from what the trend that I'm seeing in the last 2 games,
he's going to go for it.
He's going for it.
Yeah.
I feel that he's going to go for it, that he's going to go. I think he's comfortable with his starting 11. You know, maybe 1 or 2 players that he can add in and take away, but I think that he trusts them. And he's just going to go all in. And that's what I believe is going to happen. So I just wish that the players are able to understand that you are being trusted, all right, that to handle this mantle that you're wearing, to go forward and be able to make history, that they don't crack under the pressure. That's my concern. And I'm praying that they're able to go forward and just seize the moment and be able to just play out of their minds and just give all and just see what happens, you know. But I believe the coach is going for it. I don't think he's going to sit back and just let us defend and then send the ball forward and just hope stuff happens. No, I think they're going to press like we've been doing, focus on them to have mistakes in the back and then capitalize on those mistakes early on. I think that's what's going to happen. Now, the issue is, while we're pressing, you know, are we going to press all the way high? Is our back line going to go with them? And now we're exposing that space in behind. If we have our starting goalkeeper that's in there, I think we'll be fine. Yeah. But if Cadet is in, she's still a little nervous, that may be a little shaky problem for us. So we got to see what that's going to pan out. The goalkeeping decision is going to be key as well as our midfield 3 being able to step up and deal with the work that Mexico is going to bring.
Absolutely. I think so. So I think based on what you're saying, I agree. If Coach Oje is going to take that approach, I think the game plan should be, let's put Mexico on their heels. Let Mexico worry about us. Let Mexico worry about us. Mexico has to figure out, how can we stop Logina Etienne? How can we stop the Dominique Desert? How can we stop Nazon? If we want Mexico to figure out, how can they try to stop us? So we put them under pressure. And so I wouldn't, again, like we said against El Salvador, I wouldn't play any games in the back of trying to find entry passes from the back. I would go start off direct, just like we did against El Salvador. Start off direct, playing balls in behind, and let them deal with our big dogs up top. And then when they're playing out of the back, we pressure them and make it difficult for them to play. And I think that we'll find success. I think we'll find success. But as you mentioned earlier, if we do sneak early goals, we have to hold on to it. We can't allow what happened against El Salvador, where we let them back into the game, where we keep giving them hope, because Mexico was a team that if you give them an inch, they're going to take 1 mile. So we can't give them a sniff at the goal, because they're going to find something. So if we find any momentum, get an early goal from Etienne, an early goal from Desart, an early goal from Nazon, we have to make sure that we keep it and we hold on to it.
My prediction, and I hate to sound negative, is, you know, how when Haiti plays these big matches, whether it's against U.S., whether it's against Mexico, there's those phantom calls. All right. I don't like to criticize referees. I don't want to get into that part, but we have to be mentally tough to be able to withstand that. All right. If there may be times when we're dominating, we're pressing, whether we score or we're close to scoring, and then all of a sudden a phantom penalty, a phantom foul, that's a red card or something harsh call from the referees that gives us adversity. That's the part where we have to be able to rise up and still play when we're down. Play when we see these things happening. We have to still be able to maintain your composure and continue to push, not roll over and fold because of it. But beware of the phantom plays.
Beware, and also be smart. So we know this. I'm not going to dive and leave my feet in the box. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be making silly tackles around the box, because I might touch somebody and they're going to call a penalty. So be smart on certain areas of the field. Let's just stand up and defend, force them wide, and let it go out for a throw-in. But we can't give those free kicks. We can't give the referee anything. Your prediction for the match tomorrow?
This is a tough one. I think that based on my trust in Coach Ojai, I really believe that he has a plan. I really believe that he's doing well with what he was giving, whether he's been doing the recruiting, behind the scenes recruiting, or whether he's just in place and the players came to him. But we've trusted him, and I think that he's earned the trust. All right. So for me, I think if he goes for it and we are able to do that, sneak the early goals as an El Salvador, I think that we can end up winning this game 3-2. And that's my prediction is winning 3-2 and putting us as winning the top of the group. And now we're going into the semifinal match with that level of confidence, with that level. So that's not just wishful thinking. I believe that we're going to score some early goals. Yeah. So that's going to, and I believe we're going to score 2 to 3 goals. But my issue is, can we hold on to it? So my prediction is 3-2, but that's, fingers crossed 3-2.
Yeah.
All right.
For me, I want the win, but my prediction is a 2-2 draw. And the reason is because, again, I'm not so sure that our back line is prepared to handle the pressure, because we saw it that we gave up silly goals against Costa Rica. We gave up goals against El Salvador, and we're playing against the mighty Mexico. And so with that, I feel that we may be bit by the venom and give up 1 or 2 goals. So. But I believe we're going to score as well. I'm thinking and hoping for a 2-2 draw, and that way we still advance. But I don't know what, I guess goal differential will tell if we who wins the group. Let me say this also, that all the teams from the senior men and senior women teams, when we play against Mexico, sometimes the coaches have a tendency to want to sit back.
Yeah.
Okay. In the Gold Cup for the men's team, the coach made a decision to want to sit back and play as a counterattack style. And I understand that, because they're such a good team and they want to try to withstand and stay compact, and then use our speed to play on the counters. But I'm just noticing the pattern. Every time we've done that with these teams, we did not win. But every time we went and we played them team for team, which the women did in the World Cup qualifier, when they go out and play them, just went out and we just battled, we got a good result. So if Coach Ojai is going to go out and play hard and go after Mexico, I agree with you that we have a really good chance to win it. But if we're going to sit back and if we're going to play, we're just, it's not a matter of if they're going to score goals, is when they're going to score and how many. So if we sit back, that's going to work in Mexico's favor. But if we go after them, it's going to disrupt Mexico, and they're going to have to worry about us, and that's how we're going to win.
Yeah, well, we're going to see. The game is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February the 5th, and we're going to see Mexico versus Haiti. And I'm expecting Etienne to show up and show out. I'm expecting Dominique to show up and show out.
Nazon,
show up.
Pierre, show up. The whole team. We're expecting everyone to show up. A very important game, Mexico versus Haiti, for the top of the group, to see who wins the group and advances into this. They both have already advanced to the semifinals and will be playing against USA or Canada. And so it's an important game. Canada and Mexico has already secured their spots, and we're looking to see who we're going to play after this game tomorrow. So it's going to be exciting. So until we meet again, we'll be right back here after the match, and we'll talk about whatever it happens. But we're behind the team. Bon chance. All right. Grenadier à l'assaut. Let's go for this win. 3 points for Haiti. Let's do it.